Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Looks like somebody left me with the toys. So this is my very first live stream that I'm hosting on my own. One of my very first times on not YouTube, but using StreamYard. So guaranteed to be some disasters going on here. So if you see me blink out, or if you see something getting knocked over, or we just go offline, stick around for a couple of minutes because I'm gonna plug something in, and I'll probably be back. So, who's here today? Let's see. Reyes here on the safe side of the screen. Stella, RJ, you're actually supposed to be in here, but click the link. So if I destroy anything, I can blame it on you. So some of the topics I'm going to be going over today are the Peacekeeper finale, the Peacekeeper cameos, and Warner Discovery merger, and what all of that means for the future of DC. Going to be talking some wrestling with Brian when he clicks the link and jumps in. But first person I'm going to bring in is actually the person whose platform I'm using, who gave me this platform. You know him as Enosh. Here he is.
What's up, man?
Nothing's blown up yet.
What's that?
Nothing's blown up yet.
Nothing's blown up yet. You didn't do the intro. You didn't do the.
I did the intro. Listen, I did the intro. I didn't realize I hadn't clicked go live yet. So,
well, then you just do it again.
Worst things can happen.
Here you go. Here you go. No.
I was gonna get all closed up and everything, so I'm playing around with my light. I still look green, but you know,
hey,
we can color edit that out.
If you're feeling sick, man, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Nah, I'm good. I stood up in front of generals and sergeant majors and speeches when there was actually people in front of me looking for flaws. But this is fun. This is cool. Like I said, guys, I just learned this format literally 20, 30 minutes ago.
Yep.
You know,
yep.
So
we did a crash course through StreamYard.
So, like I said, I sent out some links to some people who are supposed to be here, and one of them is eating, and one is in the chat.
I know RJ's right there, man. You still got his comment up and everything. Did you send out the links right?
I sent out the links right. I think I sent out the link right.
Hey, RJ, I just want to say while he's figuring that out, I want to say, William, I am thankful to have you as part of the lounge, as part of the Pantheon, the Poindexter Pantheon. It's great to have you because, you know, we've talked about, people have always said ever since some of the first times you ever came on the show, man, that, you know, everybody loves your takes. Everybody loves your comments and everything. And, you know, and they're like, you know, William needs a show, man. William needs a channel, whatever. And if you weren't going to do that, I was like, hey, let's give William a show. And now you're going to have like 4 shows, but by the time it's done, man. So like,
yeah, I'm going to have this one. I'm going to have our pre-scripted one, the one that won't look like the cards are coming off. That will be one that deals with specific stuff like breakdowns of miniseries. The first one is going to be me and Dawson breaking down the important, you know, the Dark Knight Returns, one of the top 5 most important miniseries ever put out in any era, especially coming up on what we're about to hit with Batman. I'm going to be doing wrestling with several different people, including local wrestlers here. We have wrestling events here all the time. We'll be covering all kinds of events all over the globe. And then we'll have our 15-minute slots that are as seen on TV. And those have to do with basically where 90% of all people who are entering our geekdom are coming through via television or movies or video games in some case. They're not picking up the paid medium first, but the whole point is to get them to pick that up and hopefully become paper geeks as well as virtual geeks. So, and looks like RJ was there.
He was there, and then he dipped. Gosh, man, he said this show sucks. I don't want to be on this show. You still got his comment up there. You know how to get rid of his comment, right?
Yeah, hold on.
You there. It says hide current comment. There you go. Check you out.
Play around.
You getting it? You getting it?
Oh,
guys, getting it?
Mr. Wolf. Let's see who else is here. Stella's here, and Paro's here. Wow, a lot of people. Brian, Master of None, he'll be there after you're done eating.
What's up, Jimmy?
This is a weird time of day for me too, because I'm usually like somewhere else, doing something else.
Notice he didn't say where he was. He's like, I'm usually somewhere else, like Las Vegas strip club or something. No.
Hey, what's going on, Jimmy?
The afternoon.
Brian. This is neat. I've never really clicked on people's names before.
See, now you're seeing the other side. You're seeing what I do and how I keep it together, man, and do a show, right? Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Hey, Andrew Casale.
What's up, Andrew?
My Toby Spider-Man guy.
Amparo's here, man. Look at there. Amparo came to your first show,
Amparo,
man.
Yeah, I need her accent. She needs, hey, Amparo, I need you to do an intro with your accent.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. We could set that up. I like
you got
that.
Ray Porter, I'll have Amparo.
There you go, man. That's awesome. That's some good stuff.
All right, cool. So
where did RJ go? RJ just totally dipped on you, man.
He was there and I didn't get a chance to click on him.
Jeez, RJ.
I don't think I deleted him.
No, I don't think so. He was there and then he just dipped.
He's got that weird internet too.
That's all right. I'll stick around for a minute until your guests come in if you want me to.
Austin's always a late show, but there you go. That's in person too. Austin lives here and will show up. We'll have a screening. We're supposed to be. We're letting in people at 6:30. Here comes Austin at 6:28.
Oh yeah,
running while I'm holding his place in line. So, all right. So my first opportunity to screw up. Let's see if I do this right.
Okay.
Right. So what do I want to talk about first? I want to talk about something we talked about on your show last night, but it was a little bit controversial. Let's see. All right, ready? See if I mess up?
Yes. There's RJ.
I'm gonna add him.
You just gotta add it. There you go. There's RJ.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Did I dump you on purpose, or did you just skip?
No, I bounced out because I take a phone call. That's why I left for a second. Yeah.
RJ had to pee.
Yeah.
Well, that too probably. But, yeah.
You said that
probably. You don't know.
Well, it just happens.
Probably. I probably had to pee. I'm not gonna say whether or not I did, but I probably did have to.
Right, so, can't remember what I was. Here we go. So, and then
look, he's learning, guys.
I know he's learning on screen. Dead air, complete dead air. Hey. And see, you can hit plus. You can hit plus, and it'll make it bigger and fill up the screen more. See? Towards the middle. There you go. Hit plus. Oh.
That didn't do anything.
Oh. Yeah, it did. You made it bigger.
Oh, I'm looking at a different screen.
Made it bigger.
All right.
Made it a little bit bigger. You can keep making it bigger. Make it bigger. Fill out the screen so you don't have all that white spot. I'm gonna produce the show. We'll produce it. There you go. Look at there. Check you out. All right. Check you out.
All right.
Riveting.
This is
why we gave him a show, folks.
Blooper reel. Okay.
This is why we gave him a show. This is why right here.
Hey, I went from a little box on the screen to being able to screw up stuff. What did you guys think about this show? First, the overall show. What rating would you have given it from episode 1 all the way up to overall rating?
Oh man, I got to give the show an 8. 8 to an 8.5. And look, there were cringy things here, here and there that I, wasn't really my style or, wasn't something I like. But I got to say, man, the way that it brought things about, like even the cringy stuff, the bad jokes and the things that like at the beginning of the season, like you don't like. I mean, just like it's something simple as calling, what's his name? Diebeard,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end,
it all comes back. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was one of the most just heartfelt things that like he had been making fun of him all season long, calling him Diebeard. And then all of a sudden, man, they bring it in and just tug on your heartstrings with that at the end, man. That was, I got to give it an 8. I never would have thought. I never would have thought that I enjoyed it. And this is why it frustrates me that I've heard people like rag on it the way that I have, because it just doesn't deserve it. It just really doesn't deserve it.
Without even watching the show.
Yeah, without even watching the show. And I'm sorry. And listen, you know what, RJ, I have understood the complaints. I've listened to the complaints and I get it. but I don't understand not watching the show and then like griping and complaining about it and like throwing the show under the bus and then saying, well, it's just not my thing. Well, you don't even know if it's your thing. Like you saw a couple of jokes and and maybe a YouTube video or two, and you just decided. But when you watch the whole thing as a whole, it's a really good show, So I don't know, man. But yeah, I give it an 8 to an 8.5. I mean, because like I said, even the most mundane, stupid things at the end pulled me back in, man. Pulled me back in. Dye beard, guys. I mean, like, I don't know.
For me, I'm gonna probably go with a 9.
Okay. A little high.
8.5 to a 9. Like I said, for me, the show didn't really get its footing until episode 3. But now, in retrospect, after watching the whole season, those first 2 episodes, even though it was kind of like not like a rocky start, but it was more so just like it took you to episode 3 to really kick it into high gear, and from then on, every single episode is better than the last. I thought the show was entertaining. Again, it made me care about characters I didn't give a crap about, or even thought I wasn't going to care about.
Right.
I literally got emotional over a little butterfly dying in the palm of a woman's hand.
Just saying.
The fist bump, the little fist bump.
Or it's just like over a little butterfly dying in the palm.
Oh,
it's me.
hey, William, I think you're. We got to get you a set of headphones, bro.
I got some, but they look stupid. So
no, they don't, man. No, it keeps it from echoing.
No, I had the YouTube that went to the screen.
There's a reason why we have the equipment that we have, microphones. And
you know what, William? Just get yourself a pair of like cat earphones. They have them at Best Buy.
Dude,
I want the ones Ryan has.
Dude, get yourself a set of in-ears. You know what? Like I'm a musician. We're just gonna do this on the air. I'm a musician. I haven't been using my in-ears lately, but like they literally conform to your ear. Nobody could even tell they're there. And these are like stereo quality sound because I use them for music, like when I'm playing live. And $23 for these. And I'll tell you what, they're better than my $300 pair on Amazon.
Well, send me the $300. I do have earphones. I did bring earphones. I just, with all the scrambling, I just didn't get a chance. They're actually sitting over there, but I will put them on.
The audio's fine now, so I think it's too big a deal. So.
Uh-oh. Silence says, I will give a $100 super chat if William gets on a stream and uses cat earphones.
Dude, I'll do it.
Cat ear headphones. Cat ear headphones. $100 super chat, dude. We got to get him some cat ear headphones.
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Do you literally look like that meme from Kermit the Frog where he's talking to himself saying not to do something?
Yeah, it looks like evil Kermit. Yeah.
Didn't you say hey William? Didn't you say you got a microphone?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're all louder than you.
This thing right here, it's on.
Is it connected?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? But I mean, is it connected through StreamYard?
Yeah, in your settings.
Go to settings. Go to settings.
All right. If I disappear, guys, you know why.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm in here.
No worries.
Audio.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, then make sure you pick your mic.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Nah, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to order for dinner, so I'm sorry I was late.
I got Olive Garden. I got shrimp Alfredo.
Ooh.
Look at RJ thinking
That
like
does
I don't
sound
have to be
good.
on screen.
How about now?
Oh, that's much better.
That's much better. There you go.
See?
Yeah, and then bring that mic closer to you. Bring the mic closer to you. There you go. You get in. Yeah, don't have it all far away. That's why you got it, man. So give it a little test. Sounds much better. Much better. Much better, bro. Much better.
At least this isn't a nuclear operation, though, because we'd all be dead. But okay,
yeah.
RJ, you gave it a 9?
Yeah, I would give it a 9. Like I said, I think from episode 4 onward, it was pretty much. I don't think the show had a bad episode, which I could say about a lot of other shows. I don't think it had a bad episode. Like I'm trying to think if there's an episode I actually disliked or hated. None of the episodes I didn't like. Like I didn't look at any episode that came out and said, "Oh, that was a waste of time." You know what I mean?
Okay, like, I did, but it saved itself. I gave it an 8. I gave it a high 7, solid 8. I can't give it anything higher than that because the first 3 episodes were awful, in my opinion. I thought there was too much forced humor. There was too many disjointed scenes, and there was a story there. I remember saying this when I first watched all three. I could see there was a story underneath all the mess, and that it was worth giving it another week. The best thing that they did, in my opinion, was release all those at the same time. Because if they had not done that, I don't know if I would have given it a fourth episode. And for me, the fourth episode, especially the last 15 minutes of it, was where the entire series turned around for me. When he asked within his file and he starts remembering all the trauma from accidentally killing his brother. And then you start, and from that point on, it turned a corner for me. I don't know what kind of rating I would have given it if it had been a solid, one. For me, the measuring stick for these type of shows on HBO would be Watchmen. For a superhero show, Watchmen, I gave it 9.5, nearly a 10. I would give this an 8, which is good when you have to separate the fact that there were 3 episodes that I considered throwaway. But I get that. I mean, the first 2 episodes were kind of, it wasn't clicking for me fully. For me, I liked episode 3 because that was really the big introduction to Vigilante, and I think he energized that show so much.
He stole it.
Yeah,
but the 4th episode, that was really when things started clicking. That's when it got to that higher level. It's okay, now I'm it's getting that higher groove. And I'm getting excited for this.
By the way, William. You have your first. It's a super sticker. It's not a super chat, but you got a super sticker.
Where does that show up? Does that show up on the stream I'm looking at, or do I have to look at the other screen?
Nope.
It's in the chat on stream.
It's in the chat. You'll see it. It pulls up as a color.
I don't see it yet, but I see it. Cast Graphics, thank you.
Yep, just pull it up. There you go. Look at there.
Hey,
William did something. Yay!
Hey, you know what?
$4.99
super
sticker.
$5, yeah.
I'm halfway to a cup of coffee. So at least Vegas coffee.
There you go, man. Thank you so much, CAS. You're awesome.
Hey, Brian, what did you think of? What kind of rating would you give Peacemaker?
I'd say 8.5 out of 9. Or 8 out of 8.5 to 9. It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like you guys said, it kind of started off slow, but it's kind of understandable. Most shows do. And then it just kind of picked up and took off. There's a lot of little bits and pieces that I enjoyed about it. Talked about it last night quite a bit. It was I don't know. It's one of those things that's kind of giving me hope for DC going forward, which is good.
Well, it gave me hope in there being more interconnectivity, which I think has been sorely lacking over the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the fact that they kind of are keeping some of the continuity in place. I mean, even with a silhouette, you still know that's Superman. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think people need to take a chill pill. Relax. I mean, and first and foremost, if you refuse to watch the show, don't speak on it. I mean, sorry, you don't really have.
I'm not. Yeah, Brian, you're absolutely right. And I'm not trying to be mean about that.
No, neither am I. But they're coming around and smashing people's good times, and for a show they refuse to watch, it's come on, dude. I thought we're adults here.
Yeah. Well, when I woke up, not woke up to, because I was actually watching the show. When it went out there, when the cameos went, and I was looking to a naive, foolish knucklehead me, thinking that to me, I saw it as a win for everybody involved.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I was looking for some wow, and then all I saw from both ends, and it's like I said before, Twitter is the worst place for fandom. Twitter is the absolute worst place for fandom.
I thought Facebook was.
No, Twitter is.
Yeah.
I found either way.
Dude, it's all bad.
It is. But be honest with you, the only format I think fandom works in is in person or on a format like this where the words have context and tone. But I just saw open warfare basically on the people who didn't want, wants to say everything is over, were literally there minutes afterwards, and minutes after them, the people who were insulted that certain people weren't there. And I'm like, wow, there was no negatives for me, no negatives for that cameo. There's that is a win all the way around because for where we're at, and then
that's William speaking, folks. That's William speaking.
For where we're at with this merger happening and a whole new set of decision makers coming, this is the best holding pattern we could hope for. You saw something that looked enough like Cavill for me
to know that why would they put that there? If they were going to basically try to make you forget, that's a really horrible way to make me forget.
Yeah, don't remind the audience that, hey, somebody who looks like Henry Cavill is your Superman, and he's existing with the Justice League. Someone who looks like Gal Gadot's around too. Yeah,
shaped like her. The Flash being there and Aquaman being there, the people who are in the next 2 movies, I'm okay with that. The Batman not being there, script-wise, if even all things considered, even if you had Ben Affleck available, I wouldn't have put him in there simply because his relationship with Amanda Waller isn't the best.
No,
he probably wouldn't even have signed on to them. He's probably somewhere saying, "You guys go ahead without me." I think the woman's, he knows he was the first one of them to deal with her. So script-wise, that worked out. I think it's a good holding pattern. I mean, I would have done it differently. Personally, I would have had the Flash in there coming and doing something on his own, simple because his is a movie that we don't have enough anticipation for it. We've heard bits, pieces, rumors, some shots here, some shots here. At this point, I think they should be using all their formats to push what's coming next. Yes, I know the Flash doesn't release until November, December, but if we wait till the closing months of that to really get people hyped up for it, I think they're losing a lot. So seeing the Flash there was great. Everybody else was a bonus, and actually seeing Jason Momoa talk, not just some stupid shadow, or a head cut. It's Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller talking. To me, I walked away with that. That was a win for all of the. If you took away a negative from that, you're trying not to have fun. You're really taking a concerted effort not to have fun, and that literally is the anti-definition of fun.
Well, let me ask you guys this because it's something I've seen around. And Brian, you know where I'm going with this probably, but like I've seen the take go around, even people I love that DC fans deserve better. They deserve to have it to where it's the full actors out. They deserve this or they deserve that. Let me ask the question: do fans deserve anything?
Nope.
First off,
not a damn thing.
No, fans don't deserve anything. But if you are a seller, it's not a matter of whether they deserve something. It's whether you should be giving it to them because you want them to come back. Now, the reactions to we deserve to see a certain character in a certain silhouette. No, what you need to do is let the storyteller tell his story. And I cannot hold James Gunn or Andy Muschietti accountable or Matt Reeves accountable for what's happened from 2013 all the way up till they started making better decisions. I'm not going to take out the slings and the arrows to take shots at somebody else's creation because I'm not happy with what happened before. Because there's a reason why this stuff is happening better now. There's a cause and effect. They messed up. They messed up really bad. But that gave Matt Reeves leverage to do the movie he wanted to. That gave James Gunn leverage to do the kind of things he wanted to. Mm-hmm. And in some cases, hopefully more than not, it gave Anthony Muschietti something a little bit of leverage. So it's almost like a learning curve. It shouldn't have taken this long, but you can't just indict James Gunn's use of these characters simply because they were misused prior from a previous regime. He had nothing to do with that. None of these guys going forward had anything to do with that. And the guys who had things to do with that are for the most part on their way out. So this
two people we know are out. We started for Toby Emmerich, but yeah.
I think Toby Emmerich's actually going to be the first. He's the one that was looking for the job sooner. And Toby Emmerich's been around for 30 years. He knows what mergers mean. He's going to try to put himself in the best position, as he should, to have a soft landing and get severance. But the problem with some of these guys, especially with Toby Emmerich, we're in the streaming era one way or another. Dragging, kicking, clawing, we are in the streaming era. And my hope for this new company is that the people who are running the show understand that. Because if you don't understand what the streaming era is, you don't understand what a success and a failure is. And if you don't understand what success and failure is, you make bad decisions. And that's what happened. That's what happens now. We have the old school Hollywood guys who've never had to deal with the streaming reality that are now, they don't know what a win is. They don't know what a loss is, and that's, I think that needs to change. But as far as what fans deserve, it would be nice if we got some kind of continuity, but really, we're consumers. You watch it. If you don't like it, you don't come back.
Super chats. You got two super chats, William. Wow.
You got to pay attention, William.
Hold on.
You gotta have it on there, buddy.
They're buying you coffee.
I know, man. They're buying
Hey.
you more than coffee there, man, bro.
Thank you, Frank E. This is cool. What does 1995 get me?
I don't know.
Spam.
Well, for 1995, you can own a little
Three
piece
cans of-
a little
three
piece
cans
of
of-
Sci-Fi Center. You can buy your own Sci-Fi Center T-shirt at
Hey, you know what?
sci-fi-center.com.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, by the time this is over, we'll all be wearing yellow lightning bolts across our chest.
I like it. I like
Did I
it.
miss another one? Was that the one? I got that one. Is there anything else? Did I
Yep,
miss?
you got another one. You got
Cool.
You got to scroll down. Yep,
Iceberg. Hey,
That's a Canadian $10 right there.
that's a Canadian
Oh,
$10.
dude, that's like $50 American, isn't it?
That's
No, it goes the other
so we've
way.
established that William knows a lot about comic books and business and superheroes. Maybe not so much about how like money
The
transfer.
conversion.
The
Because I got
conversion.
this
But
little
that's
thing
okay.
right here.
That's okay. He'll get there. The
I'll-
more super chats you give him, the more he experiences it, the more he will know.
Thank you, Iceberg Josh. Send in rubles. I take all forms. No, I'm just kidding.
But
But
some rupees.
But yeah, I
super
thought,
excited. William got his own show. About time. Loving this discussion so far. Thanks, Iceberg.
cool. Thank you. I had fun with Peacemaker, like I said, and it wasn't from the trailers. If I had gone on with the trailers sucked, and it.
Oh,
looked
no,
like
they did. The marketing sucked. The marketing was
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
and that's Warner Brothers and their horrible marketing, except for the Batman. It just looked like a B movie. And as much as I love Choma, and we'll have Lloyd Kaufman, founder of Choma, here soon. As much as I love Choma, it didn't seem like something what they were aiming for. So I had a lot of fun with it. I had a reason to hate this thing. And I think what it is, a lot of people are, every time you give someone something like a Peacemaker or a Blue Beetle or a Batgirl, the problem that Warner Brothers is always going to have until they deal with it, and hopefully that's with soon, is the elephant in the room, which is Batman, which is Superman, which is the Justice League and the main characters. And it's called an area of concern. There's no reason why these other side characters cannot be successful, but you have to answer the main question in the room first. You have to deal with not Spider-Man, Freudian slip. You have to deal with the main pantheon first. You have to deal with those are the ones. When I have these books here on my shelf, my off characters don't sell on their own. They sell because they're associated with the main characters. Most of like 50% of DC books are connected to those pantheon, and that's the same way as their cinematic universe. You only know or care about these other characters because of the main characters. So it's hard to move on and expand when you haven't gotten your main island set. So that's where I understand where fans are coming from with that. My advice to them is just be patient. Be patient because there's a new understanding. Even with the regime that's currently here, you're starting to see a new understanding. This isn't the same DC films that was operating 3 years ago. They're not making the same stupid decisions promotion-wise. Yeah, they made some with Peacemaker, but look at the Batman's promotion. That's not the kind of promotion they would have given. They would have never greenlit a 3-hour movie. This is a 2-hour and 55-minute movie. They would have never greenlit this tone, given what they had to go through with Ben Affleck's Batman. Yet here we are. So even on their way out, I think there's a sea change. So Brian, you gave it a 9. I got your rating. You gave it a 8.5 to 9.
8.59. Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think that the cameos mean going forward? And I'll answer last.
I'll just go first. I think.
Hey, who said you could go? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, man. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Tell you what, you give the guy a show. Jeez. No.
Hey.
No. I think that it establishes a few things. I mean, one, it tells us that we're still in this world, right? We're still with these people, with this Justice League. I don't agree that it automatically confirms that it's Justice League, it's this and that. Like, I mean, obviously, it had a much more adult feel to it, even with the language, that wasn't the feel that we got in Justice League. I love the fact that it established that somebody who looks a lot like Henry Cavill is still Superman. We got Wonder Woman. And I think that it's a good thing. Plus I think it's like, who are the two characters that they got movies coming out for?
Flash and
the
Aquaman.
Flash and Aquaman. It makes sense. I think it might have been a little bit better if they had maybe just had the Flash and Aquaman show up, right? Because they could have said everybody was busy, and so like that's why they were late. But I get it. They're putting the other two characters in there. I think makes it.
It makes it feel more special.
It does. It makes it feel more special. Everybody complaining about it. I think you just need to stop complaining about it and understand. Because I've seen people saying, well, they should have had Cyborg and Batman in there. It's like, no, if they would have had a silhouette of Cyborg in there, like everybody would have just imploded.
Yeah, people would have freaked out.
People would have freaked out, imploded.
That was a no-win scenario, no matter what they did.
No, so I feel like they did the best that they could, and you know what? For now, I'm okay, and it doesn't mean that I'm a sellout. It doesn't mean anything other than just I am okay with this for now. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
that's it.
Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Enosh there. I mean, this show did something that I never thought it would. I mean, it kind of gave me hope for what's going to happen going forward. I for the first time since March of last year, I don't feel like all hope is lost. Like, so this is a good feeling. And it was really nice to actually talk positive about DC for a change.
Yeah, as long as you stayed off of Twitter.
I blocked out the negative, man. I'm at the point now where it's like, you guys remember Tipper Gore back in the 80s?
Yeah.
When she was trying to get like rock and roll canceled. Okay.
Label stickered.
Very similar to what's going on right now. So like, do we need to have like a parental guidance label on here? Or like this might offend certain sensibilities.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
The TVMA isn't enough, Brian.
I don't know. I'm starting to think people don't have a sense of humor anymore, which is understandable. It's 2022. No one can laugh anymore, I guess. No, the show was great. It was levity. It was fun. And that's what's important. Okay. And that's what I enjoy about superhero anything is that it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's not fun, I'm at the point now where I'm just like, no, I'm good. That's something I'll refuse to watch because no, dude, I don't want to not have fun when I watch these kind of movies anymore.
It's too much work. Shit.
Yes. Like I want to just unplug, like.
And the people complaining, because I saw some people like, oh, this is like Whedon, right? This is like what Whedon was doing, trying to bring the humor and stuff. No. What Whedon did was he inserted humor into a franchise that had very little humor and forced that.
It was also
on the audience.
Humor. It was insulting.
Exactly.
Humor. And the humor was more so like the jokes about the Justice League were more so about like Peacemaker's an idiot. That's the point.
Exactly.
It's
but
not
here's
to
the
mean
thing:
the
you
heroes.
had 7 episodes of raunchy, those types of jokes. If you're complaining about how the Justice League acts in Peacemaker's show, where Peacemaker can act wherever, however way he wants. The Justice League, it's not their show. They're on his territory. So they're going to be in his, whatever that line of humor is going to be. So, yeah, I agree. I think people just also congratulations, William. You're killing it, man. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
You showed up at
Oh, look, Bradley says hi.
Oh, but Bradley.
Look at that.
You showed up at Austin Standard Time. I see.
I did. Wow. It's called AST, Austin Standard Time. And yes, that's
Who froze?
how it works.
Oh. Yeah, whatever. Hey, Batman on the 28th. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah,
dude, y'all are lucky. I'm pissed.
Hey.
Dude, how come you can't go with us? Because the next day is IMAX. Why can't you go with us?
That's IMAX too.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it, William.
I'm not a low roller. All right. I may not have much when it comes to my geekdom.
I love you.
But I had already pre-committed. I can only give up one day, and like I said, I figured you guys would want to see it 24 hours before the peasants see it or the other people see it.
Well, speaking of that, I'm in a crisis mode. I have to negotiate how I'm going to see it March 1st because technically,
the heck, man.
If I go see it, I might be dropping a letter grade in one of my classes, but it might be worth it.
Okay, is the letter grade a one-legged F?
What do you mean?
One-legged A?
Are you going to get an F? Is it going to drop you down to an F?
No, he's at an A. I think he goes on to a B.
Oh,
That's
a
what I'm
B.
saying.
Oh, what will you do with a B? Oh no, RJ.
Well,
get a B
Nobody
for
will hire
man.
you now.
it is an important class, but if I get a medical excuse, if I go to a doctor's appointment, it might work out. I don't know. I'm gonna negotiate with the professor. I'm gonna be like, hey, I gotta go to a doctor's appointment at like 5.
Isn't Batman coming out tomorrow?
No. I say I wear my t-shirt. Yeah.
That's a different day. I don't know what you're talking about. That's Thursday.
You're all Batman
but,
out, like you're wearing a mask.
I still might do the theater thing with
Wow.
Batman. I just don't know if I want to rent out a theater again.
Yeah,
Because it'll be early. Because, like I said, that was because that was being released that day. We're seeing it so far ahead that I might do something like on a Friday at the same place. But the Batman's going to be a lot of fun.
Same for Morbius too. Were you still going to do Morbius?
Yeah, I think I want to do Morbius now that it's gotten pushed down to, Top Gun area of the schedule. So, but so the cameos going forward, I think I don't think it means much, other than we are in a very good holding pattern. We have enough here to wait. Just wait, and we have something coming up. Obviously, this merger, and this is going to be my next topic. So my number 2 opportunity to screw this up. So watch. Let's see. Hopefully, I don't bring up the wrong picture. Monetize. Let's see.
You got some nice mirror pics in there, William. Trying to
Get some
music in there. All right. I did it right. Woo-hoo. Okay. All right. This is big. The vote happens on April 11th. These are all the entities that will become one. Some of them will become nothing. All these little things that you see on the screen have somebody in charge of them. And the Discovery part has positions already that are part of Discovery. So some of the positions on the right will disappear. So the rumor is with Ann Sarnoff and obviously Jason Keelar are going to be more than likely go. Jason Keelar's job is redundant. Even no matter what you think about Jason Keelar, Zazov's job is literally the same job as Jason Keelar. So it makes no sense for him to be there. And Sarnoff, I mean, you guys read the article on Poindexter Lounge about as far as what kind of impact she's had. Even if it's not all the people in the hierarchy, that's 2 very big people. And not only would those people be exiting, there's no AT&T and no other parent company to undermine whoever is in that position like there has been since 2013. Whoever's running Warner Brothers Studio can't maneuver around the boss because the boss has no parent company. So right there alone, that's enough change for anybody who's hoping for something different, regardless to what it is, Snyder or anything else. If you wanted something different than what you got, you've got some significant changes right there once this vote takes place. What do you guys think about this? And what are you guys hoping for? And I'll start with Enosh.
Look, I just want them to give us good content. That's where I'm at. I don't even have any preconceived notions. I want Sarnoff gone. She needs to go. She needs to go find another job. At this point, I want Hamada to go at some point. I think that might take a little bit longer, but I want Hamada to go. So, and Emmerich needs to go. Those 3, especially, Keelar, I get it. Keelar is going to go, but I'm not really mad at Keelar. I know there's some people who are, because they felt like he was going to be the savior of the world. Look, there was a time where, Keelar really did wield some power and it looked like that he was going to have more of an effect, than he did, and that's fine. Things change, right? I mean, situations change, priorities change within business. I mean, if you've ever worked for a major company, and I mean major company, not just some small little company. I mean, I worked for FedEx for quite a while, and so your priorities can change like that. You can think that you have a focus, you can think that you have a direction, and then all of a sudden somebody up the chain gets something, a bug in their butt, and they're just like, hey, this is our new focus. This is what we're doing. This is drop everything else, literally. Everything that you've been working on for months and months and months, drop it. this is what we're focusing on now. So, I just want to see good content. I want to see some of those execs gone, because I think that they're standing in the way of good content being made, of consistent good content being made. Obviously we're getting things hit or miss here. There are some opportunities, and I want to see some diversity. And when I say diversity, I don't mean as far as like ethnicity. I want to see diversity among the properties for DC. I do not, as much as I love Peacemaker, I don't want to see a Justice League that is telling fart jokes and dick jokes. Okay. The FU Barry joke, that's great because it fit within the context of that show. I do not want to see a Justice League movie that has that tone. I just don't think that works. I don't think that is going to work for me.
Well, yeah, I think that's understandable too. It should feel distinct.
Like, I mean, because it does kind of concern me, like when I hear that like James Gunn had the possibility of making a Superman movie, because if you made a Superman movie with this kind of humor, I think that's a mistake.
Yeah,
I think that's a mistake, and I will have that conversation if we ever get there to talk about that. So I hope that there's diversity in tone. You know what I mean? Like, just like, because I've expressed, obviously, like, and many of us have, that we prefer Zack Snyder's tone as far as like some of these characters. I'm not saying every character has to have that tone. I'm just saying I hope that there's a diversity of tone where everything is not this thing because, they've gained some success with, telling these humorous things, that like everything's going to be this kind of off the cuff, silly, like serious 1 second, then all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, it's some, crazy thing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the person who realized it would have been a mistake to take Superman, to his credit, was James Gunn himself, because I think that's probably why he turned it down. Now, I don't think that he can't make a good Superman story. I just don't think he's willing to give up this current tone that he has. He would have to make an adjustment, because I think that the talent is there in the apparatus, that he knows how to tell a story with superheroes. I don't think right now he wants to do it in a tone that would be generally accepted. So he said no, which I give him credit for. He knew his current tone of things didn't fit a character like that would need to be generally accepted. You see how hard it is just to get Cavill through. I think they would have massacred James Gunn if he'd have taken on Superman. So I think he made the right decision. I think Warner Brothers made a poor decision. You never just offer anybody they want. That shows you're desperate. Now it's because the Zack Snyder thing and the fact that he was Marvel led them to basically pour themselves out in a way that I don't think was very professional.
Well, and also I think James Gunn knows himself, right, as a creator and as a director and as a writer, and he knows Superman isn't. He knows the style of Superman, and he knows he's not, the person for that. So,
I hope so.
Brian, what are you looking forward to with this merger once it's finalized?
Well, I just hope it's not same old. I mean, as long as certain things maintain the status quo, which, I always kind of keep that in the back of my head sometimes, whenever you have change, you might get some, but not all the change that everybody's hoping for. And to kind of just be patient and let things play out how they're going to play out. But I'm really interested to see how this works out, because I really like a lot of the properties that Discovery has on the table. Like as far as, Food Network, Discovery Channel. I mean,
those are some Bobby Flay in Italy.
Yeah.
Pimple Popper.
Oh, dude, give me some Giada De Laurentiis.
Oh my gosh, yes. The Barefoot Contessa.
Oh yeah. No.
I know William is throwing up in his mouth right now.
The Pioneer Woman.
All right. So how do I mute people? No, I'm just kidding. Hey,
I'm just saying, like, there's some great shows on popular.
There. Those shows have a global. There are people in other continents that watch Pimple Popper. So, and there are people that are in continents right now that HBO is not in.
Other
continents, 90 Day Fiance.
They're right here, man.
Well, aren't they doing this for like access to Discovery's global platform? Because isn't like HBO Max isn't global, right?
It's not global. It's getting there slowly, but once Discovery merger happens, they go global, and it gives them the platform for the networks they have, but also gives them libraries and networks to broadcast other things on. Because right out of the gate, you have TNT, you have TBS, you have and you have other stations where you control the ad revenue and ad intake. So right now, there's your revenue there. So it's a whole new. That's why when people say this is going to be, Zazov's going to be a low budget guy, no, he's walking into literally a money printing machine just based on ad revenue, IP revenue, syndication. Because how many times have we seen these movies and things that are in Warner Brothers library on other platforms right now? That's money. Those are transactions. So this merger is huge. It's better than the AOL one that happened years ago, which was a disaster that literally ruined wrestling. I'll go back to that some other day. And then you had the AT&T one. The problem with AT&T, they just didn't care. It wasn't their goal to improve the content or to improve the vision. They bought that as a platform to basically put their 4G and their 5G on, and that unfortunately they realized that was a mistake. And Discovery, not the dish editor, but the satellite company, I'm blowing it blank. They bought them and spun them off. So and now they're spinning off Warner Media. So let's see, Peter Rabbit's Defender. Hey, I've always seen this guy's name up here, but it's on Enosh's behalf.
Hey,
first episode of your show is a fire. Keep dope, man. Also, Enosh, thank you. Don't forget about that guy. P.S. Enough campaign to fill the Nile, guys.
Hey, man, and we wished him a happy birthday, man. So yeah, no, happy birthday again, Peter Rabbit's Defender.
It's his birthday today.
It was yesterday.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, man.
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
I just realized that the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and being crossed.
Would AEW be on HBO Max? I don't think so.
No. AEW is it's not owned by Warner Media.
Well, it airs on Warner Media networks,
It airs on Warner Media, but putting it on HBO Max will require a different type of deal. And where you're going to make your money on those is pay-per-views, and the pay-per-views are a totally different animal separately. Unless
they could probably make a lot of money if they incorporate pay-per-views into the app, though.
They might. That's because if you look at Peacock, that's what they're doing. I mean, that would make HBO Max to me is the best streaming service. It doesn't have nearly as much content as it needs, but the content it does have keeps me there. So, I mean, if you added pay-per-views and things like that to their, even if you just archive them, even if you just had AEW's old matches, some of the old matches that they've had in their 3-year history, and you put them on there, that's adding a wrestling fan to the geek demographic that they already have. And you have all these other, they have every demographic covered. They just don't have enough. And that's why I think that some of the stuff that we prefer is going to get made purely on the fact that they need content. And what better way to start off with content than stuff you already know you have viewers for? Just based on your metrics that you have viewers for the type of DC stuff that we watch, because you've had Zack Snyder's Justice League on there for a year now, and you've had all the associated IPs that, like when William or Enosh, we go in and we watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Once we're done with watching that 50 times, we go on to the other things that are sitting right next to it. I have mostly zero use for DC animation. But since it was there, I watched it. I watched some of the movies, liked some, didn't like some. But the fact is the accessibility was there and the attraction was there, and they can track all that stuff. So who else did I not ask about what they were looking for the movie?
Yeah, I can go.
Go ahead.
For me, I want to get free passes to the Warner Brothers Studio Tour every single day. That's what I want.
Huh? I've been there, man. It's a good tour. It
is. They changed a lot, though, since the last one.
But I don't know if you want to go there.
Can you imagine if Discovery gets their own stuff in there? You're going to have a pimple popper exhibition over there?
Oh, you're not. You are not. Dude, no.
It'll be like the lightsaber building at Disneyland.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, though, the only thing I can ask for, I think, to Enosh's point, is just good content with the franchises and properties I like. More consistency. I would like to see them actually appoint somebody who can oversee DC creatively, maybe, who could actually make a structured out plan, say, we're doing this, this, and this. Not copying the Feige formula, but emulating it in the way that makes sense for their business tactics and what they want to do. You know,
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing I would just like is consistency and like building bridges up again versus tearing bridges down between talent. You know, that's all I can really ask for.
Heck yeah.
I hope I'll go. I guess I'll go last. I hope that they hire somebody to run DC Films. They elevate that platform up to where it's not subservient to Warner Brothers Pictures, so that studio head answers directly to Zaslav or whoever is the COO. I want them to do an IP dive. Where, and when I say that, I mean dive into the IPs, study them, study their connections to the different demographics you have. Right now, they've been caught on unbalanced foot trying to please one group and afraid to offend another, and that's why. Well, whenever we heard whining about a certain IP or a certain superhero, they folded like a cheap tent. If you know your IP, you don't do that. You find a way to satisfy everybody with 85 years of history. If this isn't your Batman, guess what? Wait for a second. I got something for you over here. I would like to see them use the breadth of their entire landscape to address as many demos as possible. The CW for me blows. I think almost every show on that channel has been an absolute waste of oxygen since day one. All right, that's my opinion. But guess what? Somebody loves it. But just because somebody loves something here doesn't mean you don't produce something here. With Batman, the dumbest thing I ever heard of was when we didn't want to have too many Batmans at one time because we didn't want all the confusion. Your fans are not idiots. Okay, you're basically saying your fans are stupid. All right, if you were to give me a Batman, a CW Batman, I'm not going to watch it. Somebody's going to, but you give me an HBO Max Batman, I'm going to watch that. So you have a character that's been around since 1938, 1939, and it has different iterations of it. So I would like to see the new person to address all of that and don't yield all the time. Listen, we're fans, but there's a reason why we're sitting where we are, and somebody who makes six figures and has been doing this for 20, 30 years is sitting where they are. So if don't do like 2016, 2013 when people started whining about BVS. Get you an accountant. Make sure you have your accountant sitting right here. 858 million talks, BS walks. All right. My only question about that is how can we improve on that 858? Not if we can blow up the movie or cancel plans. All right. So that's what I want to see. I want to see, as far as the overall organization goes, there's a lot to deal with on their studio side. Embracing the streaming and doing more series. I don't want to see too many more superhero movies. I would rather see superhero series. If I get a Batman anything, whether it be Ben Affleck or my preference, John Hamm, if he can't, do it, then I want to see series. I want them to put the focus on series. I think Game of Thrones, Watchmen, Peacemaker, you have a lot of room to rise or fall when you have 8 episodes to develop things. Peacemaker would have lost me after 3 episodes. That means Peacemaker would have lost me after a 2.5-hour movie, but I had 5 more episodes. So that's the kind of organization I would like to see. Very aggressive, and forget Marvel even exists on that level. I mean, they've got a great business structure, and if you can glean anything from the business structure, that's fine. But content and tone wise, like I always said before, the minute somebody's in your office that comes up and says the guys who are at Marvel are doing this, and I'm like, well, guess what? You have enough free time to go work for them now because you no longer work for me. So I want people in the DC tent.
Dang, remember never to work for.
Listen, I want people in the DC tent that are zeroed in on the DC property and what those properties can do for them. And if you know your own IP, you don't have to worry about what some other company's doing. So that's where I want them to go. Austin?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with a lot of what you said. I think especially with the Batman stuff and even with the Superman stuff, look, there's room for all of it. For me, I had no interest in the character of Superman until Zack Snyder got a hold of him and I saw Man of Steel. So that particular version of Superman very much appeals to me, but I know there is a version, right, that is more like the Christopher Reeve and all that that audience wants as well. So I agree. I think your best bet and the best thing to do with the DC universe right now is to get into this multiverse and start to connect things, little here and there. Because at the same time, too, of course, the Marvel formula is successful and all of that, and you want to take some things from it, but you want to do your own thing and you want to find your own path of success as well. And part of that is, like you said, William, it's getting through the fan reactions and all of that and finding a way. That's what being a creative, what being a director, what being a writer, is all about. Finding ways to, make your film and bring that audience for everybody. So I agree with a lot of what you guys said. 100%.
Yeah, and I think it's going to happen. I think the vote happens on the 11th. Patience, though. We're not going to see on April 12th.
Yeah, it's not going to be overnight. Like,
Right.
heads aren't going to roll.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that we're looking for, and a lot of people are looking for, this guy needs to be fired, this guy needs to be fired. More than likely, you're going to see a soft, seamless transition to where it's
or
not
their
going to
contracts.
They still have contracts to go through. I think for some of them, like for Ann and Toby, they're contracted until like November, towards the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think Hamada's there till 23 or something like that.
And they're probably not going to get renewed, and that's how they're going to part ways. So,
and their positions will disappear because you never know what he's thinking as far as, okay, do I need this? Do I have a discovery guy that's already in place that can do what I need that I've been talking for the last year? I think that a lot of these guys are going to get transitioned out. They're going to get either severance pay or they're going to get bought out, and it's just going to be that simple. I think you'll know when the gears are running when you stop seeing announcements, or when you start seeing announcements. When you start hearing the word "in development," that means that the current company doesn't have as tight a grip on things as the perceived grip as the incoming, like Wonder Twins. All right, I'm going to flip a coin and say that may never happen. That's in development. That's in development. So things like that, you'll start hearing in development, and then all of a sudden, for maybe a month or two, you won't hear anything. The only thing you'll hear about is the projects that are coming out, like the Flash, Black Adam, the Batman. You won't hear a lot of stuff, and then all of a sudden, you'll start seeing some new faces around. Maybe a TED Talk. That's what they really need to do. Is there needs to be a DC fandom if they name a new DC head. I need to hear from that guy. I need to hear from that guy a lot. I think a lot of the DC film problems, 50% of it is miscommunication. For all we know, they could be doing wonders with the Flash, wonders with Black Adam, wonders with these things, but there's been no bridge to communication to keep us going. And like I said, my idea for the Flash is everything that's been going on with DC for the last 6 months should have had the Flash and some iteration throughout his life speeding through it. Right. And then, like Peacemaker. For me, Peacemaker wouldn't have had the Justice League. I enjoyed it, but I would have had the Flash come through and save somebody and look around and be like, wait a minute, this isn't right. And then he speeds off. Like he takes Hardcore and Peacemaker and drops him off at the hospital because obviously it doesn't matter what time he is. He's seeing wounded people, and he sweeps them all there. He looks around and he asks Peacemaker, who are you? Damn it. And then he speeds away. And then the next time you see him, maybe at the end of Lois and Clark, something happens in Lois and Clark. He speeds in. He's only there for a couple seconds, wearing a different uniform, looking around saying, damn it. Kind of like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, but going through all these things and putting together a slow-moving puzzle so that when November comes around. Otherwise, if they don't do it, guess who's going to do it? Twitter trolls. And people who have nothing to do but sit around and stare in the mirror and dig up negativity about these things, and that hurts business. That hurts your movie. And I always hear people say, well, you got to wait till the movie comes out. Absolutely fucking not. I'm sorry.
Speaking of business, you got 2 super chats there, bud.
Yeah,
dude. Hey, I'll get used to this.
You got to get used to it.
Hey, don't they make noises? Isn't there like a
no,
or something?
No.
Don't they make noises?
Don't they?
That's the thing that not in Stream, that's
like
an OBS Stream Elements thing you could set up, but that's way more complicated.
The robot comes and dances and does a little stripper dance.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. But,
I'd be happy if the air. Okay, Peter.
What did you say about stripping, William?
Hey, man, we're in Vegas. What happens here? Well, gets people arrested. I'd be happy if the haircut happens immediately after Sarnoff left. While her absence will make some Z fans happy, but Toby and Walter are still there. P.S. Laugh my ass off. Aquaman. Okay. All right, with this haircut thing, time and place. I don't want to hear about an haircut until I get a Justice Justice League 2 greenlit, because the whole purpose of that buildup, for me, maybe I'm wrong, was to dive into the relationship of Joker and Harley for what they would mean for the Nightmare timeline and everything else. So I would be advocating for the continuation of the Nightmare storyline and beyond before the air cut. If you hear an announcement about just JL2 and 3, then you can pretty much assume that piece of the puzzle would be on its way. So I would put the cart before, So, but yeah, starting off going, I believe when I say I think that's happening. But here's what else he says with Imrak and Hamada there. Listen, they're employees. They're employees with a new boss. So them being there, it's not like before where they had room to undermine Keelar or anybody else. It's Zaslav, and Zaslav has been watching this whole thing go on since he laid down that money. So they're employees. I mean, I know they got really pretty titles, but they work for a guy, and that guy doesn't work for anybody else but shareholders. So wouldn't worry about the remainder as long as the head goes. Andrew Caselli. Okay, there you did that right. I like things DC that's just not Snyder. I like Shazam. Love the '89 Batman with Keaton, Nolan's trilogy, and like Superman '78. I love Man of Steel and Snyder Cut and can get all over again. Can we all get along? Yeah, we can all get along. I think that the problem is the people. You've had one faction of us that have been around since 13. We've always had to defend something in order to get more of it. No other fandom really, other than Star Trek, and that fixed itself. So the reason why there's so much friction between fandom is everybody who's been on board since 2013 has had to fight to defend something to get the story finished. You paid money to see Man of Steel. You paid money to see BVS. You did what you needed to do as a fan to get you. Every other fan that does that gets what they want. When it comes to Disney and Marvel, when they show up at the box office, they get their stories continued. But when it came to DC, we didn't. Not only did we not get that, we had to defend it. So when you're in war and you're entrenched for so long, you become shell-shocked because everybody's the enemy now. Even if they're not, everybody's the enemy because you've had to defend things for so long. I mean, 4 years to get a movie that should have been out in 2017. No other fandom other than Star Trek has had to fight that hard. So the nerves are there. I understand it. I think the person that can fix this is DC Films and Warner Brothers, because if they would complete this story arc, a lot of these guys would put down their walls to other things if this was resolved. To be honest with you, I mean, I think the content is out there. It might not happen overnight, but I think people would give a lot of this other content another chance. You're always going to have your boycott extremists. You're not going to fix them. But the 90% of us that basically were just like, I'm not interested in this until you fix this. If you fix this, you know what? Now I'm interested in your Blue Beetle. Now I'm interested in your Peacemaker. You know what? It's up to the company issuing the content to take down the walls. I can't put that on the fans. So I miss any other? And I have one more. Peter Abbott's again. Thank you. Also, James Gunn is genius. Peacemaker.
Really ate him.
Oh, really, Adam? Okay, cool. This little high thing is going on. Really, he's a genius. I don't always agree with the tone he takes, but I've seen enough of James Gunn to understand that he knows how to tell a story.
He knows how to write.
I wish he has how to write. Yes.
Yeah, I wish he would, do some different stuff if he was going to take on certain things. But you can tell just from the Suicide Squad, he can make you care about characters you have no business caring about. Polka Dot Man? I never rat's asked about Polka Dot Man before I saw that story.
Sure.
Exactly.
You know what? Diebeard, that was a perfect scene. I really didn't give a rat's ass about Peacemaker until the end of episode 4, which I think is still the best 15 minutes that James Gunn has ever produced. All right. And I've seen pretty much all of his stuff now, even going back to the Trauma days. And that last 15 minutes of there, and that was a turning point for that series. So do I want to see him take over all of DC? Hey, you know what? If he's willing to make the adjustment, then I would be curious to see it. But current James Gunn, no. James Gunn that sits down and takes a look at the IP and says, okay, here's where my style does work and here's where it doesn't. I'd be curious to see it. I know people say, oh, no, I don't want to see it at all. But I'm like, people said the same thing about Jonathan Demme. Look at the kind of movies that Jonathan Demme made prior to Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. But that wasn't what Jonathan Demme was. Married to the Mob was Jonathan Demme. And here he puts on Silence of the Lamb, which was groundbreaking. First horror movie to win Academy Awards. Anthony Hopkins wins an Oscar for 17 minutes on the screen. That's how Jonathan Demme. But we have expected that. Watching Married to the Mob, would you see Hannibal Lecter in there? Nowhere. Nah. So I would say James Gunn could do it. It was just a matter of if he wants to. Okay, Anthony Grigsby, my favorite Australian, at least for now. Just kidding.
Australian
Just kidding.
$30.
Look at you.
Damn.
Wow. That's a lot of coffee.
Yeah, man, we're gonna fill up the cup.
We gotta fill it up.
I'm gonna be able to buy Austin his stripper pole.
What?
That's for the other show. My bad.
There you go.
You can keep that under wraps. Come on.
It's educational, right?
All right, sending lots of love to the Oracle. Oh wow, William in the panel and everyone in the chat. Love you all. This I gotta fix. I gotta be able to read these things a lot better. And full of hope for the future of DCU, hopeful for more Superman, Batfleck, Deathstroke, Joker, Aircut. Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of that. I just think I'm telling everybody who can hear me, just sit back for a little bit. Please, on April 12th or 13th, don't go tearing up Twitter or tearing up hashtags, cancels Zaslav just because it doesn't happen immediately. This is going to take some time. This is 9 years of undoing. This is 9 years of bad decision-making to the point where you're buying a company that once sold for $74 billion is now selling for $43 billion. That's a lot of downgrade. So there's a lot to fix, and not just on the DC side. But I think I personally, if I had to bet, I think we're going to get a continuation of the stories that we want. I would like to know more of the details, but I think in some way, shape, or form, we're going to get what we're wanting. Simply because just on there's not enough content on on HBO Max. There's just not enough content. I can run through that app for my stuff. I could run through it really quickly, and I'm waiting for more.
Pretty bored, to be honest. There's not a whole lot on HBO Max.
So you give me based on the numbers that we know just from Samba, which is it's the only one we got right now. But just based on those numbers alone, we should get continuation. And then when everybody says, "Oh, the Wonder Woman 84," so what? It's not a fight between IPs. I want more of everything because, like I said, retention is everything. Box office, we're going to be looking back next year looking like dinosaurs watching the meteor crash when we're talking about box office. Box office is not going to mean as much anymore. It's going to be retention and subscription. That's where the money is going to be, and that's where you're going to justify your budget. So I think we're in a good place right now as far as now. If Peacemaker came out and we didn't get any cameos, we'd just be in the same place we were 24 hours prior. But the cameos, they didn't have to do that. They could have just, they had shadows. They didn't have to get Momoa. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to do anything like that. So something's going on. There's a guiding hand somewhere that I'm happy. 2 Williams, 1 Cup. I wish I hadn't read that.
Okay then.
Monkey Jeebus.
Whoa.
Driving with Jack. Hey, I got to get on your show one day.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? I don't know.
I love his
Who's
logo.
this Jack guy?
Jack.
That guy is.
Yeah. But yeah, that was that's all the DC type stuff I had. My next one. All right, so this Star Wars thing. We just got wrapped up. Well, in general, but the most recent one is Mandalorian, and we've already talked ad nauseum of what everybody thought about that. I didn't think it was a very good show, but I didn't hate it. I think it's just one piece of a puzzle that they're building a big puzzle. And I think people looked at that show as something that it really wasn't meant to be. And I think once Mandalorian season 3 comes out, you'll see that. They made Boba Fett look stupid as far as I'm concerned. Boba Fett started off as a kick-ass guy, and
they made him look like George Bailey.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how stupid they made him look. Right? All right, we're fighting a battle. Been in the army, been in combat. I want everybody to repeat after me. There is no such thing.
There is no such thing.
There's no such thing
as ground operations.
As
ground
operations.
operations.
without air support.
With
Why
that
are you
air
bringing the
support.
damn dinosaur and you got a chip that can wipe out people? Why are you riding Dino the dinosaur into the thing when you got
It's
something that
cool
can take out?
though. It's
No,
cool.
what are you doing?
He
You
rode
got
a
them sonic boom
Rancor.
things that
Yeah,
killed the
it would have been
freaking
cool to see those
Sarlacc.
cats get cut up and blown apart.
But William, they were setting up the Rancor thing the whole season. That's why Danny Trejo showed up.
He should have been in Slave One shooting.
Either that or Mandalorian should have been in freaking, his freaking Naboo starfighter, man.
There was no time, man. There was no
Something-
time.
There was no. There was time to go get the dinosaur. Where was Slave One?
The
at?
dinosaur.
The
The
Rancor.
dinosaur.
If he had time to go get Dino, he had time to go get the Offspray or whatever the hell they're calling it now. The thing with the guns that can fly. And they just showed you him wiping out those bikers. And then
The ship
certain other
formerly
things.
known as Slave One.
It's
Yeah, I know
it's
that.
Slave One. It's never going to be anything else. They can do whatever they want to, but you know what? They can stick that right up their rear.
Now,
There ain't
now we
nobody going to be calling it the fire spray.
We got to bleep out.
except for some weirdos who have a problem with the name.
We
Sorry.
have to bleep out. We have to bleep
Not
out
sorry.
Enosh. Where this is PC. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I just didn't make a lot of it just didn't make any sense. And then Luke giving him that choice, I'm like, oh, okay, dude, come on.
Did you like Cad Bane at least?
I think that
For the 2 seconds he was there, I thought Cad Bane should have been somebody you built up in episode 1 or 2 or
I agree. He
older
should have
than
been in
that.
the show a lot sooner, but whatever.
Yeah, but by the time you realize how kick-ass he was, he's gone. Or he perceived dead. I still think he's alive. That thing that was blinking on him at the end, something tells me he's alive somewhere, and that you'll be dealing with him again. They made him age appropriate because he is supposed to be damn near 100 as far as our years goes. So he was moving like an old man, and Boba Fett even realized that. So, but the one thing where do we go? I know where I want to go with Star Wars. I know where you guys want to go with Star Wars, but I want to. Yeah, it's me. I want to go to this era. Is it on the screen? Did I got it?
Nope.
Here we go. This is what I want to see. I'm gonna make that bigger. This. How many of you have ever delved into this storytelling?
Yeah.
right.
Nope.
All right.
Yep.
Please, even if I got to send you a copy, this is the storytelling I want to see out of Star Wars.
It looks kind of old, so they probably don't print these anymore.
You know what? Screw you, man.
No,
I
I'm
wanna
just
be
saying.
on that show.
I'm
maybe.
just saying. Like, I don't know. Do they
What
still
do you mean it
print
looks
these?
old? What about that looks old?
It looks like it's like from the 90s. Like it looks like a 90s book cover.
Hey, you know what? Okay, now I'm going to put an
Okay,
age
God.
restriction on this damn
Yeah,
channel.
thank you.
What the hell?
You got to be 40. Now,
Cancel
this here,
RJ. Cancel RJ.
I saw that hashtag somewhere. What'd you do?
I don't know.
This is Freedom Ad Uprising. This was the first publication from Dark Horse back when they started telling the Knights of the Old Republic Tales of the Jedi. This takes place 4,000 years prior to the Battle of Yavin. It introduces Yavin. It introduces the Massassi Temple. It introduces the Mandalorians. It introduces a lot of things like the dual-bladed sabers, the science of the lightsabers, the science of hyperspace. There's so much storytelling here. They went on from this and told stories like Dark Lords of the Sith, which is right there. That's where, to me, this storyline showed you how.
That one looks good.
Yeah, this one right here shows you how a really kick-ass Jedi that you could get behind, that you could see as a hero, how he turns. Because before this, we didn't have episode 1, we didn't have any of that stuff. You were just basically told that Anakin Skywalker turned dark, and that was pretty much it. That all you had was the context of the movies. Now, here they show you a whole bunch of stuff. They show you the Sith alchemy and everything else. They show you how the true Dark Lords of the Sith are spirits that can give you powers and markings and everything. And the one hero is called Yula Kroljama. He's a kick-ass Jedi. He ends up turning. And they show you how it would make sense. It's not just, Padme and all that. There were legitimate pieces of the story that make him turn and that how he redeems himself. Yeah. And these are the kind of stories that I'm looking to see. as far as Star Wars goes, but I don't think I'm going to get them. There's
not.
You're getting the High Republic though. I mean,
High Republic is a little bit later than I would like to go because I'm happy to have High Republic because it's still 200 years, right? It's 200 years. 200 years prior.
Yeah, 200, 300. Yeah,
that's better, but it is. It's not 4,000 years. You know, I think 4,000 years gives whoever wants to take on these IPs a lot of room to work with and a lot of legend to build. I think Game of Thrones is doing it. Game of Thrones is going 200 years back. I wish they would go further back or further forward. But I think that it would give these storytellers room to do some really crazy things without being chained down by what I call to be the old friendly neighborhood. What do you guys think? I'll start with Enosh because I already know.
You know, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I'm fine with that. I just it's not my top priority right now. I want to see these other stories. I want to see the complete story for the saga. Once the saga's done, and you know, it doesn't even have to be that the saga's done before you start these other things. That's fine. But that's where my focus is. That's where I love. That's the stories that I love and that I get excited about hearing. The other stuff, like I haven't even gotten into the High Republic, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's not really something that I care about right now at this point. There are certain characters that I love. I love Thrawn, so I love stuff like the Chiss ascendancy and stuff like that, and learning about, you know, how he came to power and everything. That I dig. Going back hundreds and hundreds of years. Listen, I like some of it. I loved Exar Kun. I loved some of the stories that came out of the Jedi Academy trilogy, you know, by Kevin J. Anderson. You know, when he introduced Exar Kun into the books, you know, and stuff. I thought that was great, but it was also in the context of a different time period. Like, I don't know. I mean, it told his story, and I dug that it was there, but you know, I didn't really deep dive it, like, to be able to have to see like the day-to-day stuff, you know what I mean, like in the comics and stuff like that. I just didn't need it, but I understand why somebody would, and I understand why somebody would love it, and that's fine. And so, like, I'll never knock it. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I do agree with you. There are some cool stories there, like the story that you were just talking about, like of how people actually turned to the dark side, that it wasn't, you know, watered down, you know, oh, I'm so in love that, you know, has love made you blind?
Yeah, or lost.
Oh, you know, like, you know, puppy dog eyes, you know, and now I'm going evil and killing younglings out of the blue. Okay, you know. Listen, I can roll my eyes at Star Wars with the best of them, you know, but the thing is, I don't know. I understand you want that, and that's fine if you want that, and I hope you get it. I don't think that we're going to get that part anytime soon. We may get a Knights of the Old Republic thing, you know, sometime, and I hope that we do, because I know that a lot of people really, really love Knights of the Old Republic. I never played Knights of the Old Republic. It was never something that was like majorly on my radar, but I'm aware of it, and I do know the stories because I do keep up with stuff, even though like I wasn't totally into it. I still do keep up with it though, and understand what it is. So, you know.
Let me get to the super chat.
Hey, I got to get going because I got to jump on something else, and then.
All right. Hey, I hope that goes really well.
William, you're awesome, bro. Keep up the good work, man. And I look forward to seeing many wonderful things out of you.
Yeah, you have the keys to the house. You have the keys to the house now, William. Don't burn the house down while it's gone.
The keys to the house. Yeah. I need the keys to this room, his toy room.
You ain't getting.
We're gonna do a whole stream of just how we're gonna.
Listen. Me and William, I want to get in on this with you. Look, I want a home alone. I want a home alone Enosh. We need to find a night when Tiff takes the kids out. He's just chilling by himself.
It just doesn't happen.
And somebody
doesn't happen.
You never. Well, it's
called planning.
It's called planning. It's called planning.
Okay, but you're assuming that like we go all these places and do all these things and that we leave it.
You don't know. Maybe
like,
maybe she gets a card that's like, here, take the kids out somewhere, leave Enosh at home. And
that just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And
We'll force it to happen.
Tiffany and I are attached at the hip. So if one of us goes and does something, the other one goes and does something too. And
Well, that's great. That means you're both out.
Plus, there's 5 of us, and everybody in this house is trained to sniff out and understand exactly what to do in case of anyone trying to be stupid.
In case anyone tries to get it.
hey, you do not become who we are without contingency plans. We are the Batman of this
Is there
story.
a window? Is there a window in the toy room?
Oh, okay. Now we got RJ on it.
Is there a vent in the toy room?
What's that?
Is there a vent in the toy room?
It's like 5 inches by 6 inches.
Yeah. So you just see me crawling through with a mic to William in the car guiding me.
Okay,
so you're gonna make a left turn. And
there's
gonna
no
be like Mission
window.
Impossible.
Use the vent. Yeah.
It's gonna be like Mission Impossible. I'll be sitting out in the van with a computer. He's out the house. The dog is live. All right.
I hear bang, 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 bang.
I don't want to play.
See you next.
Hey, so what do you guys think about future Star Wars stories? And I mean, that's just an example I gave. That's what I want to see.
I would like to see the far past, the far future. I mean, I just want more variety. I feel like I like what we're getting now. I just wish there's more stuff, like more so they didn't connect. I like the storyline we're on now because it is a 30-year time gap. But I wouldn't mind going to the deep past or the deep far future. Either or is fine with me.
And the way they told it to where it was relevant to Luke, because Eskar Khan was relevant to Luke because he corrupted one of his students. He corrupted one of the Solos. So I'm down for it. Okay, Ibrahim Khan. I hope I'm not butchering your name. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, I am an MCU fan. I love Peacemaker. I just find it hard to get into DC because of the divisiveness of the fan base. Again, I don't like Snyder Vision. You know what? That's fine. I mean, there's no. Not liking Snyder, that his taste and his sensibilities are not for everybody. The problem is the fan base seems so divisive is because of the head. If you're running your company and if RJ is in Austin love a certain type of superhero selling story. All right. And they love it. They keep coming back. Them and all their friends keep giving me money. And we're making good money off of RJ. I'm not going to stop taking their money just because I have a fan base over here that says that sucks. I don't like that. Give me something like this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to weigh my options. If I'm making a lot of money with RJ and Austin, I'm going to stay on that. But at the same time, I'm going to be like, well, what do you want? You know what? Because I have all these platforms and I need customers on all of them. And there's never going to be one person that's going to be happy with everything. You're always going to have your CW people that's going to think Snyder stuff is too dark, and you're going to have Snyder people that think CW is for kids, right? But I don't need to dismiss any of those guys. I want all of those guys under the tent. So it's up to the company and the creative to make a big tent for everybody to come in under, and take care of your customer. Take care of your customer that doesn't like the Snyderverse, and take care of your customer that does like the Snyderverse, because they make up significant portions of your revenue. Stop throwing money away for other money. Get a big bag for all the money. That's what it goes on for that. So that's my answer to that. So, but yeah, hey, if you don't like Snyder's, I know a lot of people who don't like Snyder's tone, but there's enough people that do to where that customer just can't be ignored like it has been the last maybe 6 or 7 years. So just about to do business about it. So as far as Star Wars goes, yeah, I would like to go back. Is Brian, you still there?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I just want to make sure that. Go ahead, Austin.
No, I was gonna say I think probably what I'm most excited for coming from the Star Wars stuff is like Acolyte, and that's gonna explore the Sith like centuries before the events of everything that's happened in
me too.
The world that we know.
That's
that
the one
for me.
That's trying to get me on.
That's a big one, man. Oh, that for me is like that's what I want. I want more Sith stuff. I want more exposure into that and the history of it too. Like the Old Republic and all of that stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, that's for me where, kind of what I want. But at the same time, too, like, I really am enjoying Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian. And even though it feels like we've had enough of Luke Skywalker, it's cool to see. I know. But it's still, for me, like, it's cool to see him, right? Because I grew up with the Clone Wars, and I grew up seeing with Ahsoka and to
That's
see
no
that
fair
connection.
because you grew up with him after I had already grown up with him, though.
Right.
I'm literally seeing my childhood again, and I'm like, you guys that are in your 20s, or he's newer to you than he will ever be to me.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah.
I just want to see a Star Wars where I don't hear the word Skywalker.
Yeah, nice.
There's my middle ground.
That's
I want to see Star
understandable.
Wars where I don't. So hey, let's move on to wrestling. So
yes, I need to.
Well, with that, I'm gonna head out because I do have some things.
What's wrong with wrestling, Austin?
I know nothing about wrestling. You think I watch wrestling, dude? I sit here and
current wrestling.
That's why you got your nipple pierced.
Okay,
that's your wrestling gimmick.
I don't ever need to hear about your nipples on any show that I'm on. I've heard too much about.
Oh, dude, you already missed it when you were looking. I already flashed him a few times.
Okay, so what control I do to get rid of you? All right, man, thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, congratulations.
Right,
it's great.
Thank you. All right.
So what are you going to talk about? Because there's like a lot going on.
There's so many.
Cody Rhodes.
All right, a work or a shoot?
I think it's legit.
Right.
I thought it was a work, but not anymore.
Why go back to the WWE though? I don't understand
the money. I don't know either. It's really confusing. I don't know either. He doesn't necessarily have to go there though. He could go to Ring of Honor. He could go somewhere else. I mean, I don't know.
He could go. I would always think if he ever left, I just can't believe he's leaving something that he put that much into. But at the same time, you know,
I think there's division between him and Tony Khan. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, ever since he took over the booking, and that was the right call. You should never have wrestlers that are in the promotion booking.
No, and everyone else seems happy. I mean, the Bucks are okay with it. Omega's okay with it. I mean, they're fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, so if you know what, I hate to see him go, but to me, the WWE is just an abyss where things go and you just get lost.
Here's the thing: if he goes to WWE, right? WWE could benefit extraordinarily from having his presence there. The problem is that I don't trust them to use him correctly. No. Why should I trust them to use him correctly? Yeah, if they use him correctly, it could be amazing. It would be amazing, and it could be a huge opportunity for them. They're gonna blow it if he goes over there. He'll be pushed for like the first couple months, get him a WrestleMania match. After that, he's gonna be doing matches with Miz and Maurice with Brandy. It's gonna be awful and terrible, and he's gonna go back to Stardust and all that crap, and then it's just gonna be terrible.
Well, what he'll do is he'll go over and he'll use AEW angle, which will in turn help Tony Khan, because if you weren't aware or watching the AEW program, now here you have it, bringing it up.
But that's if Vince is smart and Bruce Pritchard and Nick Khan are smart, and they're like, hey, you can mention them on live TV. Oh, never. And they're not going to do that.
The bigger problem I have with this one is if I love Cody, and I thought he put a 5-star match the other night against
Sammy Guevara.
I thought
that's a great match to go out of. That's his last match there. That's a great match to go out on.
You weren't at the top of your card for whatever reason, whether it's because of his own design or whatever reason.
Well, he chose not to compete at the top level after he lost to Jericho. So,
but unless you're going to go and be at the top of that card and dictate the top of that card, there's no reason.
I think he expected to have more of a role in the backstage, and when he didn't get that, he's like, why am I even here then?
Yeah. Then And I like I said, I don't know enough of his booking decisions. I know what the Young Bucks are doing with their booking decisions, but I also know what they were doing without him, and they were just fine without him. I mean, the Young Bucks still continue to put on great stories. The thing that they're doing with the Bullet Club, I wish they would flesh that out a little bit more. I would like to see the Bullet Club pretty much, a solid foundation in any.
I think it's a slow burn right now. They're focusing on Adam Cole right now, and the undisputed guys he brought in with Adam Cole, which I'm fine with.
And then there's Jay White.
Yeah, the Jay White thing, which is big. So
I wish he'd be in a title match somewhere. But I love the Bullet Club. I think they're going to win the titles this Saturday. I think they're going to try to. I liked it when Kenny Omega was walking around with the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, and Kenny Omega's been gone for a while, as he should be. I don't know what he's.
Yeah, because they ran him into the ground. They ran him into the ground. He was wrestling everywhere. He didn't just have those belts. He was defending himself.
Well, yeah, he deserves a break. He's going to be on a break for a while, but when he comes back, that'll have a lot of big impact.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I haven't really watched AEW at all. I have the new product I haven't really been paying much attention to lately. Anyways, So
it's good stuff.
unfortunately,
Also, check out some New Japan too, man, because I'm gonna as we get the wrestling show going, we
Yeah.
have wrestlers here in town that wrestle.
nice.
Brian Cage wrestles here, so I'm gonna reach out to the guy who runs FSW and see if he can get some of these guys. To maybe we can make a
Disco Inferno wrestle out there.
Disco Run Glenn Gilberti. He's out here as well.
Nice.
He was
nice.
actually at a show.
Rob Van Dam's out there too.
Rob Van Dam actually shops at the Home Depot.
Nice.
I see him all the time. He's out here where the FSW events I went to. Killer Cross showed up and John Moxley showed up. I have pictures of that I'll bring up when we do our show. And his woman fell into us. We got those pictures because in FSW you're sitting like this. Here's the ring and here's the seats.
Yeah, you're sitting right next to it. Yeah.
So that was great. So that's a teaser for the wrestling thing we're gonna do. Star Trek. I got to get you on more as many times as I can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially once the next day after Discovery airs or the next day after these shows air. I got my
Strange New Worlds in a couple months.
Strange New Worlds in 1 month.
Oh,
no, is it March? No,
I thought it was May.
Picard.
Yeah,
Picard's
next month.
Yeah, Picard's next month, and then
next one.
May is Strange New Worlds.
May 4th. Yeah. May the 4th be with you for Star Trek. So we're gonna dress up. I got my con uniform ready. Con uniform with all the medals and stuff on it. I'll be wearing that. So you need to be dressing up. So we're going to go through this is the first of many. Like I said, this was me feeling myself out, trying not to destroy things and throw people off on accident. And
you did good, man.
Did some things on there. Like I said, I got a tutorial literally the hour before, and I left it on the screen. I'm like, okay, this is set up enough.
I mean, considering it was your first time, it could have been a lot worse. You could have left with the Sci Fi Center burning down and like the whole chat on fire, everything
doing the scream from outside with the fire trucks. So this was fun. Like I said, we'll get a lot more fleshed out. This isn't where I'm going to be filming. I had set up a little studio area, but I could not get the light right. So that's going to take some time and testing out. Now that I can get on StreamYard and play with things, I'm going to do some green screen stuff and all that. I'm going to find a better way to bring up the chats and the stuff out there. Because right now I don't see how you guys do it with the screen off to the side while there's other stuff going on. It just rolls.
It takes getting used to. Yeah, give it a couple more streams. You're gonna be a pro at it with the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I went out and bought my microphone, bought my little ring light, got my brand new camera. I'm still green, but I'll figure that out too. But hey, thanks for you guys for coming on. When I'm famous and making it rain, you guys will be able to be. I was on that stream with them.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were there.
Yep. Okay, now how does he usually close out his thing? I'm not going to do it.
So on the top right corner, there's an option called End Broadcast. So you have to click it twice.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for everybody who dropped by Super Chats and bought the stripper pole for Austin and bought me coffee. And thanks for everybody. I think we had up to 40 some odd people that were here for the first time. I was expecting 3 or 4. So thank you for breaking my expectations. And thank you for the very first guest that I got going through. And like I said, it'll get better from here. Trust me. All right. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, man. Congrats.